Sir bring me his head.
Give me a minute, I'll do it now.
What did he say?
I'll go and get it, I'll do it now.
What are you doing?
I'll do it now.
He wants you to cut Ned Stark's head off.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it now!
Go
Now.
Get my axe.
I can't
What's your act? I can't.
What's an axe?
My-
No, cut his head off.
I'm gonna cut it up with my axe.
What?
An axe.
He hasn't got a tongue, has he?
No,
Can't understand a word he's
It's not
saying.
my fault, is it?
Sir Ilan!
Who are
Ilan!
you? Are you on the payroll?
Yeah, I'm
Can't-
paying him.
Ridiculous. Oh,
Well, you're
What
paying
the-
him!
apparently so.
Joffrey, for God's sake, we need to... if you're going to pick someone that's going to chop someone's head off, make sure they can speak!
Why is that important?
What?
Why is that
I
important?
don't know what he's saying!
Have you got balls though?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a geek.
Hello and welcome to 8 Days a Geek. My name is Christopher Weeks and I'm here with...
Benjamin Pryor.
And...
AJ Jenks.
And boys, this is a momentous day because this is episode 10
Episode
of our podcast.
10.
And Pryor's got a cookie which he is rustling around inside to celebrate. Do you want to take it out of the bag? How about that?
Take it out of the
Take
bag.
it out of the bag.
I was going to pick you up and say, you said hello and welcome rather than...
Hello and welcome.
What's wrong with saying hello?
Oh, that's my cultural roots, isn't it, eh? I'm
Where
a
you from?
Cockney, ain't I?
It
Ain't I?
I thought you were from Windsor.
Yeah. No, I'm actually from near Oxford, but I understand your point. Oh, you're taking it out of the bag, have you?
Oh, you have taken it out of the
That's a
bag.
good idea. Pryor's got a Starbucks cookie. Not a sponsor. Although if they fancy it, that would be lovely.
Yeah, can do that.
Make my life much easier, wouldn't it?
Fanta, you owe us quite a bit at the moment because we've been drinking your Fanta.
He's talking with his mouth full of cookie.
Yeah,
Eat your
that is
cookie.
pretty terrible.
Wait, no.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. And very fittingly, we're going to be talking about, for the first time, a television series with 10 episodes.
Oh.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's called Game of Thrones. You probably heard of it.
It's a bit of a big show,
Bit
isn't
of a
it?
big I mean, not as much anymore, because it's disgraced.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was great.
Of the decade, it's got to be the best TV show to have come out.
It's certainly the most impactful.
Yeah.
No.
He's throwing it in. What is it?
Game of Thrones is my favourite TV show
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you want.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Right. We've been 8 days again.
That's all we need to say. But I don't know. You've had like TV shows like Lost,
Yeah.
Yep.
which, funny
Rubbish.
enough, Lost kind of reminds me. What did you say?
You just said rubbish.
Right, you
But
said
it with a
rubbish.
mouthful of cookie.
Lost was amazing.
Lost was great.
Even
It
the
also
ending.
lost its way.
Well, this is the thing.
Lost
It
its
lost
way.
its way at the
Hey,
end.
hey,
Lost its
hey.
way.
Yes, I understand the irony. But
Is that irony?
I don't know.
Alanis Morissette's here.
Stealing it.
Tell you what, boys, this cookie's very crumbly.
But Game of Thrones, the big one. We've got to get through a whole series in just one episode.
Easy.
Well, it's sort of like a film in a lot of ways, isn't
Yeah.
it? The way that it's like, or maybe a trilogy of films.
So
in the way
did
that's
did
put
you know
together.
of Game of Thrones before Game
No,
of Thrones came out?
absolutely not.
I think you were exactly the same as me. The first season came out.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
Oh no, I did watch it as it was coming out
Oh right, okay. So
because I was intrigued by Sean Bean being in it.
yeah
Obviously,
Why I
that was
watched it.
literally why I watched it. That poster of him as Ned, obviously.
sitting on the throne.
Yeah. Or he was out on the moors or something like that. There was something that made me think, oh, Lord of the Rings on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful! I'm going to watch it. That's literally my thinking.
I genuinely thought it was some spin-off of Lord of the Rings when I first saw
Did
it.
you?
Because I saw Sean Bean, and I'm like, that looks like Boromir.
Yeah, it does
Really?
look a lot like
Yeah. And I
Boromir.
was
Weird
like,
that.
Awesome. Let's look at this spin-off. Then I started watching it, episode by episode, and it angered me that we only got one every, what was it when they came out?
It was one a week, wasn't it?
Was it that?
Yeah, it was one
felt
a week.
felt longer to me.
No.
Ah, well, you were younger then. You
One
said.
a week
Younger.
back then.
I was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to wait
Full of excitement.
3 bloody
Like you.
years for a series to come out.
Well, that's it. Time
And then
lagged. when you were
disappoint
younger.
your life.
Okay.
Right, we're not, listen, we've got to concentrate just
Yeah,
on
we've got
one.
a
we're
long
not-
way to
we're
go
not
before
on
we
that.
get disappointed.
This
it gets
one
better and better.
never disappointed me. Even the opening, and I remember not knowing anything
yeah.
about this show.
Oh,
And you just see 3 night watchmen.
Yeah. Oh.
yeah.
And you
This
have-
is the opening scene.
Yeah, this is
really.
the opening
This
scene.
is before the titles as well. This is a
Yeah.
pre-title sequence.
So-
And, oh my god.
and
So let's put ourselves back into our shoes when we were watching this, how we
Yeah.
felt when we were watching this. Let's not think about anything past this. Just season 1, how we felt when we watched season 1.
well, it's
Very
next.
sensible of
Yeah.
Pryor. Very diplomatic.
Very
well done.
Weird.
Oh, he's happy because of his cookie.
Oh,
I
that's
did,
true.
yeah.
That's why.
I finished it now, so I'm a
But
bit...
I
It's
remember,
coming down.
especially first episode,
Yeah.
going and that scene where the whites just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, we see first the wall, which is like this gargantuous
Yeah,
ice
so
wall,
they
and it's
come
like,
out of the
what
tunnel.
is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it looks amazing, and we see some night watchmen, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
One of them's a knight, Sir Waymar Royce. Do you remember
Yeah.
him? The arrogant
Yeah.
knight.
Yeah.
Who's got all the lovely livery and the sword and everything like that. And he's on horseback, isn't
Yeah.
he? Which all of that just sort of elevates him to
And
this.
he's a Royce as well, so he's also, a liege lord that, well, not anymore.
Yeah.
He was a liege lord.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would have been in the Vale.
Yeah. He's been
Uh,
disgraced.
He has been
Now, at this point, we
disgraced.
don't actually know the impact of, because we don't know who the
Well, we
Night
don't
Watchmen
know
are.
the Vale. We don't know.
No,
We don't know
we don't
nothing.
know.
We don't know
We
any of
literally
these
know
houses.
nothing at this point.
No.
We're
And it's
just
actually
three men
quite
in the
nice
cold.
that we don't start with any people from any house. It's
Yeah.
from the Night's Watch.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then, and then we, that scene, because we can't obviously, we haven't got time to go scene by scene.
no,
by
No,
it's
scene.
not
no,
going
no,
to
no. We've got to go big moments and
But that-
sweeping stuff.
But this is massive.
Oh, yeah.
You see the White Walkers before you even meet
Yeah.
Ned Stark.
Yeah.
And
And that's the thing, we don't know how impactful it is that these Night Watchmen
yeah,
get taken by the White Walkers,
Absolutely.
because it's like, we don't know.
but we don't know who these
The-
White Walkers
The
are.
Night's Watch are meant to be they're meant to be really good at what they do.
Yeah.
They dedicate their life to it. So the fact that they have been taken down so easily by this force...
Well, they're not
it's-
prepared, are they? Because
No.
nothing has happened for hundreds
Yeah.
of years.
Exactly, they've been bored.
Absolutely nothing has happened
Yeah.
since, the Long Night, however many hundreds and thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And yet, all of a sudden, out of the mists of, history and legend come these creatures. And as you say, we're introduced to them before the titles. Yeah. We don't hear of them again.
No.
Because you completely forget about them.
You don't see them for the whole entire season.
Yeah,
I
well, you
did
see
forget about him.
the white in Castle Black when he's reanimated
Yeah.
and he attacks old
Yeah.
Mormont, the old bear.
yeah.
But he's
that's episodes away.
Yeah.
But he's a white. But
Yeah.
at the start,
So it's
you see a
not-
White Walker.
Yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
White Walker, absolutely.
So an
It is a
actual
different
White
thing.
Walker.
I remember totally forgetting that what White Walkers were. My brother kind of said, "Oh yeah, hopefully soon we see more of the White Walkers." I was like, "More of the what?"
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't even remember them being named. Maybe they were, but
Well,
Well, it's in the books where
but they call them the others as well in the
Yeah.
books, don't they?
They-
Which they,
they
don't
call
so
them
much in the
others.
show. They
No,
keep it
because
simpler.
it would be like lost again.
Yeah, I
if you
suppose
just
so.
said the others.
yeah.
The others are coming.
It's just like, oh god.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, this scene. So you kind of really, the kind of character arc that starts this off is mainly based on the deserter,
Yeah,
because then obviously the deserter comes into
that's what brings it to Winterfell.
into Winterfell, and that's
Exactly.
why it's interlinked with that first
yeah,
scene.
a great
Would-
writing.
Would you have deserted?
What in that instance?
Yeah, or would you have gone back to Castle Black?
It's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, he must have been so utterly terrified
Yeah.
that he thought the Castle Black would not stand a chance, and so he just ran south.
Yeah, I think
suppose.
that's the only reason that I would not go back to, because I mean Castle Black is all he knows. It
Yeah.
should be his everything. So
Yeah.
the fact that he's
It's
gone,
everything.
I have to go further than that
Just
to
yeah.
reach some
As
sort
south
of kingdom.
as south goes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although he didn't get very far, did he?
No,
He
he
was the
didn't.
north.
A bit
Not
slow.
ideal.
I mean, if he walked it though, from beyond the wall,
Oh,
he
yeah.
did all right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, God, yeah, it would take
But-
ages.
And then we are intro the intro comes in that.
Yeah. Take just a quick moment to talk about the theme at this point. It's a very clever bit of musical
Yeah.
thing. The way that it switches from the major to the minor, there and back again, a Hobbit's Tale, but
Sorry.
but the way that it does that, it's all the machinations
Yeah.
and political intrigue is
Yeah.
all there in that theme. It's a very, very clever bit of composition, and it sets you up so nicely. And the actual the visuals behind
I
the
was
theme
about
as
to
well.
say that while we're there, we may as well
Goodness.
talk
Yeah,
about that.
we see all the
animation.
house
Yeah.
sigils.
It is
which
incredible where it's
I-
all being built up and it's
I
like
never-
clockwork. It's
I never
beautiful.
realised at the start that little ring that's going around the sun.
Yeah.
Had all the house sigils.
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
Until a bit later on. But yeah, then we see for the first time those almost clockworky buildings
Coming out of
being
the
made
map
and
of
stuff.
the world. Yeah,
And
the
it's-
game.
And you see Winterfell, and it's got the Stark sigil on the
Yeah.
top, and we're kind of. I mean, the whole point of this episode is establishing all of your main players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it does, doesn't
Really.
it? Pretty much.
But I mean, amazingly though, even though it's just one episode, it establishes all the main players.
Yeah.
But still has that already threat from the north,
Yeah.
Yeah.
threat from beyond the wall there.
Yeah, but that's in the books as well. That's
Yeah.
the prologue. Is it all happens ahead of
Yeah.
the meeting at
If you
Winterfell?
think about the first episode alone, we see what is it, 2 or 3 houses in one
Yes, we
episode?
meet the
Yeah.
Baratheons, we
Yeah.
meet the Lannisters,
And
we meet the Starks.
They're the big players.
Yeah.
There are other smaller ones, but those guys are going to be
Yeah.
Hey, leave Tyrion alone.
through and through.
But we
He's also there for
but
goodness
we
sake.
also meet Dany.
We do.
Yeah.
The
crikey,
Targaryens, yeah.
We meet the Targaryens
So really,
as well
4
on the other
houses.
side of
Yeah.
the sea. Yeah.
The four
Amazing.
big. I mean, they are the 4 big houses. as well.
At the end of the day, they are the 4 main players.
Yeah.
Especially in this first season.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And obviously the Baratheons kind of take a very interesting route
Yeah.
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 in season 2. But in this season, yeah, so we're introduced to House Stark,
Yeah.
which their Lord and Warden of the North is Ned Stark, played by
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Beautiful casting.
Great casting.
People know how we feel about Sean Bean.
We
Oh my
adore
God,
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean's
but I
God.
think in this he is just out of this world.
Better than anything I've seen him in, for
Well,
sure.
Ned
Yeah,
Stark
I
is a
think he's-
fantastic character because he isn't clever.
No.
This is what I love, that he's loyal and honourable
Yeah.
And a leader as well.
and a great leader,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
he is a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But in a different way to Robert, who is
Yeah.
also a soldier, but not a good leader,
yeah.
No.
which is interesting.
But there's a lovely line which comes in a few more episodes when he speaks to Cersei and says, "I've been with soldiers all my life," and stuff like that. And you can tell that this is a man that, even though he's been given Hand of the King in the next episode, he's a soldier. He's meant to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the
That's where he's comfortable.
gritty and
Yeah.
meant to be there, not anywhere higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warden of the North.
Well, it was supposed to be his brother, of course, wasn't it?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
it was never supposed to be him. It's that old thing of the people most fitted to lead are those who have it thrust upon them, not those
Yeah.
who sort of seek it out.
Well, this is the thing, is that when you go back to... Already, when you go back to the history, Catelyn was never meant to be with Ned.
Yeah.
She was meant to be with her brother,
Yeah.
who
His
obviously... Well, his brother,
Otherwise-
not her brother.
Yeah. That could happen in this world, so we have to be
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah. Who got burnt to death along with Ned's father
Yeah.
by the mad... I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, God.
Man,
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Go
Who
on.
got burnt to death by the Mad King.
Yeah.
You have all this history as well, which you aren't fully clicked onto. This season brings it a lot in different moments of Robert's rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does plunge you straight in as well.
That's-
Get it?
yeah.
There's no baby steps here.
No.
I always like that. I think that across all of the films that we've talked about, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, there's no baby steps. You're just plunged into the world. I mean, there's the prologue in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And similarly, that's stuff that happened a long time ago. This is stuff that's coming back
Yeah.
from a long time ago, and then you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So we meet Rob and Ned, and
Yep.
automatically you know their relationship, even though it's
Yeah.
been 10 years
Hmm.
since they've seen each other,
Yeah.
is very close.
You're calling him Rob.
Oh, right, Robert.
There is a Rob as well. We can't talk
Oh,
about.
that's true. You meet Robert
Should we
You
call
do.
one of them Bob? Bobby.
Yeah.
and
Bobby Baraths.
Have another cookie,
breath.
mate. Go on.
that breath. But yeah, and you see that there is this connection and loyalty between
Yeah.
the Baratheon house
And
and
great
the Stark.
friendship.
And obviously, Ned and Robert grew up together
Yeah.
as wards in the Vale under John Arryn,
Yeah.
um,
Hand of the King. Former
Yeah.
Hand of the King.
who has, at the end of this episode, well, no, in fact, at the start of this episode, you find out that he's died.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is why they know as well that the king is riding up.
Yeah. All that way. A long way.
Yeah.
Which takes 6 months.
Yeah. For a lazy man as
It
well.
takes 6 months
Very
in this
large,
season. But in season 8,
Okay.
Okay,
Right?
no, we're not
You see,
there.
this is-
season
this
8,
is the sort of
when
thing we-
John wants to
Oh,
ride down,
Jinx.
when they're at the Trident, it takes them 2 days from the Trident.
This
You're-
isn't the
you're
sort of thing that we.
confusing
Which is
people.
midway.
We can't do this
Don't
sort of
need
thing.
to.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
we
This is what we don't
actually
have time for.
meet someone who was following closely in Ned's footsteps, which is, of course, Jon Snow, who is pretty much a younger version of Ned. In
It's
most
Rob.
ways.
Rob is more. I mean, if you're thinking,
Were we talking about
following
Bobby Barath or Rob Stark?
Rob Stark.
Oh, right.
No, I think
I'm taking
I think
that.
Jon
No.
Snow is like closer to how Ned is than.
I'd have to disagree.
Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Yeah.
First bit of conflict.
No,
Go on, boys.
I appreciate that. I think
I
it's
know,
good.
this is nice.
This is healthy.
This is nice for now.
I'd
but
say-
further down the line, you're going to be
I'd-
at each other's throats.
I'd say Rob is very much 100% Ned, and that's why later on we see Rob fall pretty much at the same way that Ned does.
But
Yeah.
Rob does something dishonourable, whereas Ned tries to do the honourable thing.
But Ned is also at the moment known for doing something dishonourable.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Sleeping with another woman
Yeah.
and having another
Whereas in
woman's
fact,
baby.
he's sort of sacrificing his reputation for that, isn't he?
So
But for
he's-
an honourable reason.
he, in the public eye, he has this dishonour.
Yeah.
And Rob, weirdly, does that kind of dishonour as well.
Yeah, I suppose
When
that's true.
They're at a very prime moment in their
I suppose
lives.
if Rob was thinking, what would my father do? He, as far as he's aware, his father did
Yeah.
do the dirty on Cat and
Exactly.
had John. So he's like, oh, actually, maybe there is scope for this sort of dishonour. But
Yeah.
that's actually, I mean, that's further down the line.
But so yeah, this episode is very much more establishing, but it's the second episode. Well, no, it's the end of this episode which gets the ball rolling.
Yeah.
We meet Jaime and Cersei. We don't really see their relationship or anything like that
No.
until the final minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the
Then
tower.
we get their relationship.
We certainly do.
Episode 1, there's incest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
bang.
a big part of the show.
I remember
Bang,
opening
straight
it
in
and
there.
I was like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad, and there was no holding back for anything
Oh, no.
in this episode. In fact,
No.
for the whole season, there's no holding back.
No.
They really, they put their cards on the table, don't
Because
they?
you get the vibe in this episode. The Lannisters do not fit in this Baratheon and Stark
Yeah.
way of life.
They're very holier than thou, aren't they? And they're very.
Well, they believe they're bigger.
They're
and
the
more
aristocrats,
important.
aren't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
But then we see that this incestual relationship is happening with two of the main Lannisters.
Yeah.
But we're not the only ones that see it.
No,
No,
Bran
we're not.
Stark, and we get that fantastic line
Yeah.
that ends at
From Jamie.
"The things I do for love."
Yeah.
Push. And that's the first episode.
That's it.
Amazing.
And we just see Bran Stark fall to the camera. And
Yeah.
then it's like.
I remember thinking, that's how they finished the first episode.
Yeah.
What is
How,
going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone can go, nah, just turn off.
Yeah,
I'm
not
not watching
really
anymore.
interested.
It's ridiculous.
I remember showing one of my friends, because she was like, oh, everyone's into Game of Thrones, I suppose I should watch it. And I was like, trust me, when you watch the end of the first episode, even if you haven't watched any
Yeah.
of the first episode, just watch that last 5 minutes, you're going to want to go,
Yeah.
well, what happens next?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that shows a strong scene right there.
Exactly.
There's so much going on because there's this whole John Aaron being murdered thing, which is
Yeah.
revealed. They're suspecting that something foul has gone on,
Yeah.
some foul play. So Ned's
Well,
like,
it's
okay.
they believe it's the Lannisters
Yeah.
which have done this, which is one of...
And they're set up in that way as
Yeah.
well. Everything about them is a little bit oily, a little bit,
Yeah.
it's a bit Malfoy-ish, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
You're a bit like,
definitely.
oh, yeah, I know
I
who
think
these guys
Ned
are.
partly goes down because he wants to find out
Oh,
what's
definitely, because he
happened.
doesn't want to go, really.
No.
Like, he's not interested in being the hand of the
And
king.
Catelyn really doesn't want him to go.
Absolutely, no. She's got a really bad sense about it.
And no one in the north wants him to go either because
Exactly.
they'll lose their king. And
Yeah, well, I
Well-
mean, the North is essentially another kingdom,
Yeah.
and not in as
Well, it used to be.
Well, yeah,
It used
exactly,
to be another
and it's
kingdom.
bigger than all the other realms combined,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And
And so you
everyone-
lose the figurehead of Ned.
But it isn't the most populated of all.
No, well, there's lots of space, which is
Yeah.
lovely.
But everyone knows that
Lovely.
Starks don't do well when they go south.
Yeah,
Because of previous moments with
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
father and his brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we're thrust straight into the second episode. Bran is completely unconscious. They have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on, and we have all these theories. And Ned has left with Robert
Yeah.
to go down south. And
Yeah.
Robert,
Don't really care about Bran, does he? See you later,
Wait,
mate.
oh god, it
Well-
must be so tearing.
yeah.
He used
But
to leave his son.
Robert, when they have that little, I don't know if you remember their little lunch in a field.
Oh yeah,
And
nice
Robert
picnic.
already knows.
Feeding each other grapes.
Yeah.
Robert already knows that a war is coming,
Mm.
Yeah.
and he mentions Dany,
Oh yeah,
and
he's worried about the Targaryens.
Obviously,
Well, he's
Var-
worried about Viserys, isn't
Yeah.
he? Really? He
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
really think about Dany at this point because she's just
Exactly,
a sister.
yeah.
Just a sister, yeah.
Yeah.
because Viserys is at this point knows that there are deals going on
Yeah.
with a Dothraki horde
Yeah.
led by the beautiful
Oh.
Khal Drogo.
Yeah, my sister-in-law has met him and swooned as a picture of them
Jason
together.
Momoa.
Jason Momoa. Do you know the story of his audition? He did the scenes,
Oh, yeah,
did
he
the
did
side,
yeah.
and then he ripped off his shirt and did a haka.
No way.
How would you
Yeah.
not cast him?
Yeah.
How could you not
I
cast
love
him?
him.
He's
He loves
wicked.
He loves the environment.
Yeah.
Cares for
Yeah.
animals. And
He wears his heart on his sleeve.
He rides Harley Davidson motorbikes.
And
He's
Yeah.
Aquaman.
He adores Emilia
He is
Clarke,
Aquaman.
which I love.
Not-
I love their relationship.
Not an amazing film, but he
No,
is
but I
Aquaman.
mean, he's Aquaman.
He is Aquaman. At the
in
end
real
of the day.
life and in DC.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. Have you seen his axe throwing?
Yes.
Oh, I love his
amazing.
axe throwing.
Oh, what a
He's
human.
one of those people where you're like, actually, we should just make a film about this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Don't invent a character for him. Just make it
He
about
is a
Jason
superhero.
Momoa.
Yeah,
He actually
yeah.
is.
Again, we have this very weird brother-sister relationship
To say the least.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first episode,
Yeah, well,
when he's feeling her up.
Yeah.
he's feeding her up.
Disgraceful.
He's taking
And
her clothes off.
Danny is very much numb to
Yeah.
everything that's going
Yeah.
on. She
She
doesn't.
is.
She doesn't understand at this point
No.
what has really happened.
She's
or-
very young.
yeah,
You know.
And she's also spent most of her life just being used and manipulated, and now she's being used as bargain power,
Yeah.
basically.
well, they've been
Just-
moved time and time again
Yeah.
from different places
Yeah.
to
So,
escape because
the
obviously
refugees. I suppose, in a way.
Varys is watching everything
Mm.
that they do.
Yeah.
He watches everything they do, and that's why Ser Jorah Mormont is sent there because he is now working through Varys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously Jorah Mormont was not a good boy.
No, well, he was a slaver, wasn't he? He
Yeah.
sold slaves.
He was
One of my
not
favourite
ideal.
characters, by the way.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
just-
But Ian Glenn.
Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Ian Glenn.
Khaleesi. I've
Oh,
worked
amazing.
with Ian Glenn's brother. I met Ian
Oh,
Glenn as
okay.
well.
Hold on.
I nearly
8
flipped
Days of
out
Geek
then.
is not a place to start boasting, AJ.
I've met Ian Glenn. Worked with his brother as well. Great. Lovely
Cool.
guy.
What's his brother called? Glenn.
No.
He was in the show.
I shouldn't really
Have you
say
met his
that.
father-in-law?
He has met my father.
I have, yeah.
He wasn't in Game of Thrones. He could have been.
Could have
Lovely
been.
chap.
That would have been good.
Should have been.
He could have
But-
been.
Yeah, we get
Illyria
this.
or something like that.
We get that weird brother and sister relationship where Viserion is selling Dany.
Viserion.
Viserys is selling Dany
You're skipping ahead.
to Khal Drogo, and
Yeah.
it's all just a bit barbaric.
Yeah.
It is. And yet he is the barbaric one. You know.
He is, yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that was highlighted. That's nice.
Yeah, no,
That's all right.
But yeah, think of the wedding ceremony for
Oh.
the Dothraki and
Oh, it's
wild stuff.
then
But the fighters, oh my
Yeah.
god,
and
with their lovely swords, the arach,
Yeah.
beautiful.
the Blood Riders as well.
Mm.
They're just very handsome, aren't they?
Okay.
Hello.
We're
very
really-
handsome men.
Each
well, this
their
is
own.
becoming a different
Yeah.
podcast.
But like the Dothraki are a very legendary kind of fort. They've been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Across the Great Grass Sea,
Yeah.
which is mammoth size.
Oh yeah.
When you actually go into the hit, oh, see, this is the thing. Problem with here's a problem. The problem with there isn't a problem. The thing is,
Is it
with
a
all
problem
the-
or not?
Are you broken?
There is so much lore in Game of Thrones. It's incredible. Like the lore in Essos is just because obviously we haven't even mentioned Essos is a different continent.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
There is a sea
Westeros.
between Essos and Westeros.
Yeah.
So it's all. It's very interesting to look at all the lore, and to see that they were originally connected.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um,
He looks at Pryor as though you were the one who disconnected them. I knew it was you. Classic
but,
Pryor.
Yeah, and then if you carry on, then you get into the Children of the Forest.
Oh, I love all that.
That's
And you get
amazing.
into
So
the
good.
Andals
Yeah.
invading, and you get into the First Men
Yeah.
Yeah.
invading, and you know
And
we have
women.
all this history that's come behind it. But you're right.
Sorry. Alright.
But yeah, and then we come back, and Ned is going down the Kingsroad with Robert Baratheon.
Yeah. So Robert is terrified of the Dothraki.
Yeah.
The only reason that the Dothraki haven't conquered Westeros is because they don't go over the
So
sea.
this is why Ned and Robert almost have a bit of an argument, where Ned is like, the Dothraki have never crossed the sea.
Yeah.
And they never will cross the sea, so there is no need
Yeah.
to be scared of any of
Yeah.
this, of two young kids.
Yeah. Because of course Robert wants to.
Well, he wants them dead. Any Targaryens,
Murder the
he wants
Targaryen
dead
children.
because of Lyanna Stark.
Mm.
And the whole history that then goes back.
He's got a
because
personal thing against them.
Robert was in love with Ned's sister,
Yeah.
who was stolen, in inverted commas, by Rhaegar Targaryen. You're
Yeah.
alright, Pryor?
Sorry,
Just
mate.
looking
Yeah.
at your phone, mate.
Oh.
No, just a message from on 8 Days of Geek.
Oh,
What was
lovely.
the message?
I love 8 Days
It's
of Geek.
from Leg Class, who said, I always wondered what the boys have to say when I told you to do a dance video.
I don't understand.
I don't
Me either.
understand.
Well, it must be you.
Have we done a dance video?
Should we do it?
Apparently, someone asked us to do a dance video.
I'll tell you what, should we do it?
Someone did ask us to do a dance video.
Oh, really?
Should
we do a dance video like at the wedding of Khal Drogo and Daenerys?
Yeah, let's do one of them.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Pride can
tops
be
off.
Okay,
Pride
no
can
worries.
be one of the women.
Yeah.
And
I'll
we
get
can be
naked.
two of the Blood Riders fighting over
Yeah.
the woman.
Yeah.
We'll get that done.
And then we'll do the honeymoon scene as well.
I'll be the horse. Yeah.
Two of us should be the horse, really.
We know you're going to be.
I'll be the front end.
No, he's the horse. Who are you going to be?
It's
Khal
got to be
Drogo.
Khal Drogo, hasn't it?
In fairness, I do have the body. It's in my garage. I only bring it out the weekends.
But yeah, and they are going down, and Ned is saying, no, this is impossible. But weirdly enough, because Robert, I don't believe, and I think, a lot of people say this as well, he wasn't a good king.
No.
But he was an incredible fighter and an
Oh, yeah.
incredible leader.
God, he was strong then.
But yeah, so when he talks about armies and tactics, he does know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if they met the Dothraki in the field, they wouldn't stand a chance.
No.
That's
Would
what he's
not
suggesting.
at all. But then we pass from that, and then this is now when we meet Jon Snow, and Jon Snow knows what he is. He's a bastard of Winterfell.
Yeah. Although he doesn't like the term, of course.
No.
And when
He does seem
Tyrion
to
calls
throw
him
it
that.
around a lot, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Well, he does later on, but at this point, he's sort of ashamed because he's grown up, and because of Catelyn as well.
It's
Yeah.
why he wants
She's very
to
negative
go
to
away.
She's giving him a hard time.
Yeah, she really
That's
has.
like-
She really has.
But it's understandable slightly
It is.
because this is the whole. He is the
He's the
physical
evidence.
embodiment
Yeah.
of
Him cheating.
Ned
Exactly,
cheating
yeah.
on her.
Yeah, very
Awful.
difficult that he's
How did they live with
raised
that?
alongside her children.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
And obviously at this point, we don't know anything different.
No, I wonder what would have happened if she had known, if Ned had told her the actual truth.
I'm amazed that Ned never
It's
told her.
very weird, isn't it, considering how close they were?
Yeah.
But he,
Well,
who
he
knows?
kept that
Sworn to
secret.
secrecy.
Yeah.
A man
He's
of
a very
honour.
Which
honourable
it
man.
shows his honour.
Too honourable though.
That's the thing. He is too honourable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he had to go.
That's the flaws in Ned Stark. But
Yeah.
we then go over to Jon Snow,
Yeah.
who's riding to
With Tyrion.
With Tyrion as well.
Yeah.
Because we've met Tyrion
The imp.
once or twice before this.
Yeah.
He's having a
Great introduction to
a
him.
lovely bit of sexual moments.
And I'm guessing
With
we all
Ross.
absolutely love Peter Dinklage, don't we?
Oh my god.
Just
You couldn't have made this series. I mean, the casting across the whole
Yeah.
thing is pretty much amazing, but without Peter Dinklage.
I know he is
Oh my
incredible.
God.
He smashes every line. His accent as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything. I didn't realise that he's American.
Yeah.
And when
Really?
I watched Game of Thrones at first,
Yeah.
because I hadn't seen him in anything prior to that.
Right.
And
No,
so
I
I-
saw,
no,
I
in
saw him
fairness.
in Elf.
Yeah, I'd seen him in a couple of things, but didn't know it was him.
yeah, that again, same.
Because, but his thing was always that he didn't want to play the stereotypical fantasy dwarf characters, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
he always avoided those
The
parts.
Warwick stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the sort of thing that would scream out to a dwarf actor. Of
Yeah.
course, it
Well,
would.
and then David Benioff from DB Wise sent him the script and just said, "Just look at the script."
Yeah.
That's the thing. You
Look
don't
at
even
the script.
see Peter Dinklage as a dwarf actor. He isn't just an actor
He's
when
an
you're watching him.
unbelievable.
But the
actor.
so
character,
talented.
Wow.
the character is so genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pivotal.
Yeah. I mean, it's pivotal to the whole.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
don't get
whole story.
Tyrion right, because he's one of Martin's favourite characters,
Yeah.
and he's written so much good stuff and so much complex stuff. Oh my god, you can't overstate how important Peter
Yeah.
Dinklage is to the
Yeah.
whole production.
But we
because
don't
without
get
him.
we don't even get his relationship with his father yet. We get it later on in this season.
Yeah,
But I mean,
One of the first interactions with Jon and Tyrion, though, is that they both have this thing in common. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
actually.
No, but
It's-
you're right.
No, I was just going to follow up on what you were saying.
Yeah.
They have this interaction on how they are both, in a way, outcasts to their families.
Yeah.
You know, he mentioned something like, "You are the bastard son of Ned Stark, and I'm the
all
imp
dwarves
of-"
are bastard in their father's eyes.
yeah. What
Exactly.
a wonderful line. And he says,
Just-
wasn't Tyrion say he has an affinity for cripples, bastards, and broken things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
It's poetry.
gold line
That
after
poetry.
gold line.
That line is so good that they named the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
just
course.
that line.
Ridiculous stuff.
And so they have this friendship and this affinity, which carries all the way through until they meet again.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
much further down the line.
But they're on the way to the wall.
Yeah.
And Tyrion, weirdly enough, and the line is said by Jon, is like, everyone knew what this place was like, other than you.
Yeah.
You were the only one that told me.
yeah.
And he'd been told that the Night's Watch is this honourable
Oh, yeah.
thing, but like it was 1,000 years
Yeah.
prior.
Yeah.
And he gets there and it's
1,000
full of
years.
Me.
Prior.
prior. But he gets there and it's full of rapers and thieves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The scum of the
Yeah,
people don't
they
want
really
in their
are.
cities get
Yeah, they didn't want to be
cast the
executed,
night
so they were like, fine, I'll just go up the wall.
From the
That
dungeons.
is actually a sentence, isn't it? It's either execute or go and
Yeah.
serve your life.
Yeah.
at
That's
the
it.
wall.
That's what Ned Stark gets offered
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah.
later on, of course.
And, you know, then we obviously meet Benjen Stark,
Yeah,
who left to go to the wall as well, and he is
he's the first ranger. Yeah.
And Jon Snow adores this man as
Oh,
well.
well,
yeah.
that's the thing. Jon Snow knows he has this slight disconnection with his father,
Yeah.
but because Benjen is at the wall, has taken away all of his rights
Yeah.
and gone, I'm at the wall. He sees that kind of, okay, well, Benjen's done it,
Yeah.
and why can't I do it? If I'm a bastard as well, I'm never going to get anything here.
Yeah.
Benjen can do it, why can't I?
It's a little moment from the show.
Sorry,
there.
Yeah, excellent
Got
Buddy
that,
references.
is it?
All you
Yeah.
Buddy fans out there, you'll love
But then
that one.
They get to the wall and you meet characters like Sir Alistair Thorne,
Yeah.
who was a Targaryen loyalist, finds out Jon Snow is the bastard son of Ned Stark and
Yeah.
hates him.
Oh, yeah.
And we meet, you know, Ed and all those characters, and
Yeah, Gran and all that lot.
Yeah.
And eventually,
Sam comes in.
Samwise is the
Well,
brave.
And you
loved
start-
him from the first second I saw him. I was
Yeah.
like, he is going to be brilliant.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's Samwise, isn't he? I
Yeah,
know
he's
Samuel
Samwise.
Charlie, but
Yeah,
he is Sam.
Samwise,
It's a
definitely.
bit amazing that he is Sam.
For
and
the first few
Martin
seasons-
is just like Sam. There we
the
go.
first few seasons, it is pure Sam.
It's
Yeah.
just Sam. It's Sam Gamgee.
And John plays that kind of Frodo-ish
Yeah,
kind of to him.
the parallels are
I mean,
ringing
the
out.
first season, it's Sam taking away all the bravery from Sam, though. And
Oh yeah,
got-
he's been
Well, this is
crushed by his
It's
father.
kind of early Sam, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, early, very early.
Sam, if he was put straight into Mordor
Mm.
from the Shire, and he'd be like,
Exactly.
What? No, it's possible.
But I found through this whole season, I loved all the moments at the wall
Yeah,
and beyond the wall.
they were great
And
because you
they're-
sympathise with John.
Yeah, they're training with
Yeah.
Ed and Graham. We haven't met Dolores. Well, we haven't met Ed actually yet. We
Mm.
meet him in season 2, but we meet
Ah.
Pip.
Oh yeah.
We meet Pip there as well, and there's this lovely friendship that starts, but also this massive hate from Alistair Thorne
Yeah.
and stuff. And Tyrion's there, so he can piss off the edge of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some just great moments, and then obviously Tyrion then goes back, and this is where then Tyrion's character starts to come into fruition.
Yeah.
He goes to Winterfell
Mm.
on his way down south, and Bran has woken up, but he hasn't remembered anything,
No.
He's got amnesia.
and gives him this possible way to ride a horse
Yeah,
again.
the saddle. They're suspicious of Tyrion at this point.
They're
though,
very
aren't they?
suspicious because obviously that they have this suspicion that the Lannisters had something to do
Yeah.
with Bran.
Yeah, and that the assassin has tried to attack Bran as well with that knife,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
they say belonged to Tyrion.
Which Littlefinger said.
Which actually it was
Tyrion, yeah.
Littlefinger's, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Littlefinger.
Yeah, it's all very convoluted.
Yeah.
And he was saved by the direwolf. I didn't
Yeah.
talk about the direwolves.
Yeah,
my God.
well, he's woken up and they meet the direwolves in the forest.
They
don't
do.
when-
That's
way
the
back when the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ned says you can take one each.
Direwolf
Yeah.
is a sigil of your house. They were meant to get them.
They are amazing.
Yeah, they're kind of. I don't know why Ned's so against direwolves.
Yeah.
It's like that is our sigil.
Yeah.
But it's unnatural, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they've come across them. It's very unusual.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Especially 3 and.
Here's
No,
the
six
runt
of
of the
them.
litter.
Oh yeah, there was,
Six
wasn't
of
there? Yeah.
This one's yours, senor.
yeah, the white one, Ghost.
Love
the
that.
best one.
Ghost.
Oh,
By
Oh,
far the best.
Ghost.
And the mother one has been killed by a stag.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Instant imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Because obviously you've got the whole war going on, but they're still
Yeah.
going down south.
Yeah.
And Arya has this fight with Joffrey.
Yeah. Yeah, Joffrey.
And then we really get to know Joffrey's
So
character.
Joffrey's the son of Cersei as well, and we haven't
yeah,
really mentioned.
son of
Yeah.
Cersei and meant to be Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, Ned then later finds out when he's looking through the books and the
Yeah.
history,
What-
He's
what-
Joffrey
realises
and-
that all the children are born blonde.
Yeah. And it's hinted at, of course, because Cersei talks to Kat about because her and Robert did have a son
Yeah.
who died, who had jet black hair. You're like, at that point, you don't really think much of that.
No.
But when you look back on it, it's like, oh yeah, okay,
What,
Yeah.
what do we think about Joffrey's character? And
wonderful.
I think it's a
Jack
fantastic
Gleeson.
character.
Unbelievable.
He's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that he doesn't do anything anymore.
Doesn't do it.
He just
I met him at a convention, but apart
he
from
just
that-
he just leads his little theatre company, doesn't
yeah,
he?
he just does
in
bits and
Ireland.
pieces. I think of what he wants to do.
But the character is so, again, it's as much as everyone hated Joffrey,
Yeah.
it is a pivotal character.
Yeah, but I
You
think
have
that's
to hate
why.
Joffrey,
Yeah,
and
that's-
you have to believe him.
Yeah, and I hated him to the core, and it's because I believed his acting so much. I thought that was him.
Yeah.
And that's what good actors do, and I think that's incredible.
Everything about him worked really well.
Yeah.
The look of him, he had that weird, of course, based a lot on Commodus from Gladiator, Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix. Great place to start for an awful, incestuous sort of character, you know. And he's sort of had that look as well. It's that oily Malfoy Lannister look.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing, except he takes it a step further and he, kills and goes mad and is wildly arrogant and he's got all
Well,
these
yeah.
awful qualities.
And it's Nymeria that goes for him,
Yeah.
and bites him, and then Arya has to tell Nymeria to go.
Yeah. Gets rid of her.
Who we don't see again until season 7
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad.
for some reason.
Was it confirmed that was her in the end?
Yeah,
Was.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was meant to be.
Yeah, which is
though
why she
says,
backed down.
That's not you.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's all
Yeah.
stupid.
Anyway,
Yeah, not going there.
anyway, I'm not gonna.
No, we've done very well.
But yeah, and then we then get to King's Landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ned is officially the hand of the king, and we meet the council.
We do.
We're about halfway through now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're starting. We meet the council, and we meet characters like Varys,
Yeah.
Littlefinger,
Littlefinger.
Grandmaster Pycelle,
Yeah.
and Sir Janos Lint
Yeah.
as well.
Janos-
And
yes,
we
Lint.
meet all of these, and you start realizing that they're all having some little thing to hide, and
Yeah.
Littlefinger and Varys all give hints about Jon Arryn's death,
Yeah.
that it is not what it seems,
Yeah.
and because they're all playing the game,
Yeah.
and obviously Ned doesn't play the game, and Jon Arryn didn't play the game either,
Yeah.
which is why it's so interesting, because as soon as Ned gets there and they start giving him hints, Ned goes straight in deep,
Yeah.
dives straight away
Doesn't
to
mess
find
about.
out
Yeah.
what happens, and that's when you start to see that Ned is going down the wrong path,
Yeah.
and the fact that, because Littlefinger is the one that gives him the book of the history of the births and stuff like that, and it then starts clicking that this is an incestual child and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Robert's still alive at this point,
Oh yeah.
and they have the jousting match and all these things are starting to
The
happen.
tournament of the hand and all that.
Yeah, which Ned says straight away. Oh, and we also meet Renly. Renly
Of course.
Baratheon.
Of course. Not Stannis, but Renly. Yeah.
Yeah, we meet Renly, and he's saying, "Oh, well, we shouldn't pay for this. I don't want this," and stuff like that. And then he finds out how much debt
Mm.
the crown is in,
Yeah.
and realizes it's all in turmoil.
Yeah. And it's in debt massively to the Lannisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The richest people, to Tywin. The mighty Tywin.
And I love the line that Ned says that Jon Arryn wouldn't have let this happen. So there's just so much speculation that things aren't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love, and Cersei has obviously been very dodgy, watching exactly what he does.
Yeah.
Varys has got his little birds, Littlefinger's looking at everything.
Yeah.
And just like, wow, okay, so there's a massive complex.
Oh yeah, they're all working.
place, which I love. And then we meet the Hound and the Mountain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Hound and the Mountain and the Prince of Flowers as well.
Yeah.
And my brother is obsessed with the mountain because
Oh, really?
he is Eddie Hall, strong man.
Right. Is that in this season? Because he changes casting quite a few
I
times.
don't know actually. I think I don't know whether it was this one or another season.
Right. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
probably it's what's the name, because he's Icelandic World's Strongest Man.
Oh right.
But he isn't coming until season 4, season 5.
Is
Right,
he who
okay.
takes on Mando?
Um,
Now there's a crossover.
oh yeah, he takes on Oberyn Martell.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
so
Red
these
Viper
two
of Dawn.
characters are incredible. They are brothers. Do we know they're brothers at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because whilst this is going on, Littlefinger is whispering the Hound's backstory.
Yes, that's
to
right.
Sansa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Which is terrifying anyway, because we see they were in full armor at this point.
Yeah.
And so
The Hound isn't, the Mountain is.
Okay, so
That's
we
the
see
Hound
that-
got his dog
Hound's-
helm on though.
He wears it when they're going down the King's Road.
Oh
But
right.
during the tourney, he's standing there,
Right.
next to the king.
Oh, right, yeah.
How
Yeah, of
scared
course. He's
were
not
you
in
when
the
you
tournament.
saw the hound's face? For me, it terrified me.
Oh, really?
The prosthetics and everything and the makeup was so real. It looked exactly what someone who had been severely burnt would look like to me.
Yeah,
And
oh, yeah, yeah.
I was like, that he's terrifying. Just, and when you see him in real life, he looks lovely and it's
Well,
like
it's
really...
what amazed me as well is that it's what's the name for? It's Lurtz from Hot Fuzz,
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yarp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yarp, yeah.
and I was like, wait,
Yeah. I didn't make that
That's it.
connection, actually.
Yeah,
you're
I only
right.
made that watching Hot Fuzz a few, however many years later,
Yeah.
you know, and being like, oh my god, there he is.
but
Yeah.
what a great casting for him.
Definitely.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Dream
His
part.
character doesn't come big in this season, but
No.
what he becomes.
His arc is one of my favourites.
It's
'cause
fantastic.
It's just traumatic and beautiful and
Yeah.
funny, really funny and just
Yeah.
amazing. 'Cause it's got everything.
Then obviously Tyrion comes back,
Yeah,
goes past Winterfell, meets Kat, and Kat arrests him.
that's a cool moment in the inn.
Yeah,
She
when she
calls them
points
in.
out to everyone that she knows them
Yeah,
and stuff, because obviously she was a Tully
Yeah.
before she was a Stark.
Yeah.
And then you're taken to the Vale,
yeah,
and a certain character called Bronn comes with as
yeah.
well.
Jerome Flynn,
Jerome
what a
Flynn,
legend.
great singer.
Great
And-
singer, great swordsman.
Yeah,
The two big things taken care of by that guy.
and
That's what we like.
he's then taken to the Eyrie,
Yeah,
which is, I mean, in the books, the Eyrie has so much, and you're told how big this place is
Yeah.
and how hard it is to get to, how
Oh,
many
absolutely.
mountains you have to
Incredible.
cross. But even in the show, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you meet Lysa Arryn,
Yeah.
who is not.
she's a nutter. Let's be honest. Let's not beat about the bush. She's
Yeah.
crackers.
Yeah,
Well,
she,
mate, have a go.
Look.
she's not with it really, is she?
No, my god.
But at this point, I mean, you don't know this, but Lysa killed Jon Arryn. And like, if she just told Catelyn, but obviously she wouldn't tell Catelyn because it was all under Littlefinger's promise.
Yeah.
But obviously we don't know any of this until
No.
much later.
No, absolutely. It's all gently unveiled.
And Tyrion is put on trial,
Yeah.
and he asks for trial by combat.
Yeah.
As,
This happens quite a lot.
yeah.
Trial
He
by
asks for
combat.
Jaime Lannister, and they say
One of the
no.
best- yeah.
He's a bit far away.
Yeah.
So Bronn obviously steps up and fights. Who does he fight again?
He fights. Oh, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, isn't it? Is it Saboros Plant? Let me look it up. That's
Yeah.
going to bug
We'll
me.
keep
otherwise.
going anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep on
But
chatting
they
away.
have
It's-
the
But yeah,
trial
the-
by combat.
Trial
is
by
initiated.
combat, and we get Bronn's, and you realise he's going to become a big character when you get that honour line.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Nice.
you don't fight with honour. No. He did.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Amazing.
okay, this guy's
So
pretty
cool.
cool.
Bronn is so
Every
good.
line he has
Yeah.
is like, he's badass. He's just so cool.
Yeah, and then they leave the Vale and meet the Hill Tribes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it's Savardis.
Savardis, that's
it. It's
it.
Savardis Egan. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And we meet
Not
the
a
Hill
big character
Tribes.
at all, except in his death. What, when they're
Yeah.
coming out of the Vale? Yeah.
And this is the first time you hear really about the Lannister. The Lannisters always pay their debts
Yeah.
because Tyrion promises for these Hill Tribesmen not to kill him
Yeah.
and says, "Look, we'll sorry, is it?
I'm not sure if you can hear that.
We
but
have got
it's,
the cast of Stomp upstairs.
Don't worry about
What's
that.
going on?" But yeah, they're what? But they're promised.
Off! Sorry, mate. Just wanted to put that in there for you.
It worked though.
They're doing insanity, aren't they?
Yeah, they
I just
are.
realised.
Some people do insanity. Some people do podcasts.
Yeah.
It's a rarefied atmosphere. here.
But they're these Hill Tribes are promised, swords, pikes,
Yeah.
shields.
He promises them the Vale, essentially, doesn't he?
I think it's time for new lords.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is class.
Amazing.
And then they walk down, and this is when we meet Tywin. We meet Tywin Lannister.
Who plays him again?
Charles Dance.
Amazing.
Goodness
Charles
me,
Dance,
what
amazing.
a wonderful actor.
I've met Charles Dance as
Oh,
well.
here we go.
God's sake.
I've not been talking about all of the
Stop.
people that I've met.
I've got a
Name
picture with Charles Dance
Oh,
actually. He came to
here we
watch me in the
go.
show.
God, can we
And I
put
think
that in
that-
the... Should we put it as the video show?
Can do if you want.
Yeah,
Can we
why
just
not?
clarify, did he come to watch you in a show, or did he come to watch a show that you just happened to
Yeah.
be in?
He
What?
came to watch someone else in the show.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Who was the other
man.
person?
Christopher Biggins.
Right, there we go.
I can believe that a bit more.
Actually,
yeah.
All right.
I can't really imagine a coffee morning with Biggins and Charles
Yeah,
Dance.
I know.
How would that go?
Ah.
Biggins, Charles Dance, and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You in your coat and your hat.
That's
Yeah,
something
he's
you
there
want
with
to
his
see.
glasses.
Charles
steampunk
Dance is there
glasses.
skinning a deer.
Biggins wearing the same.
But you get to
Food
meet
from
Tyrion,
Iceland.
and you realise, okay, the Lannisters have now gone to war
Yeah.
with the Starks,
They're
because
well
what has
practiced.
happened at the exact same time is that Ned is now really deep into finding out what's going on.
Yeah.
Catelyn has turned up, they're in Littlefinger's brothel, and Jaime has found out that Tyrion has been taken captive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by cat.
And then we have this first
Oh
little
my
fight
god. This
between
fight.
Ned and Jaime, and you find out how good Jaime is.
But
Yeah.
you've been waiting for this moment,
Yeah.
haven't you? Because
Yeah,
there's
he-
been so much tension between Ned and Jaime.
Yeah.
And but obviously both have got these legends woven
Yeah,
about them. The
that's what I was about to
Kingslayer,
say, yeah.
one of the greatest fighters ever,
And the greatest swordsman ever.
and
Yeah.
Ned, who in a much more understated way is also an incredible fighter.
and also killed Sir Arthur Dane.
well, yeah, we don't find out the circumstances
Yeah.
of that, but the legend is
but
there
that's-
that he was the one who did it.
Yeah.
The Sword of the Morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
He killed the greatest knight
Yeah.
Yeah.
that there's ever been.
Yeah.
So
So
this
this is
moment-
one battle of all battles,
Yeah.
and how exciting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it shows how good Jaime is. It also shows how good Ned must have been, because
Yeah.
Ned isn't in practice.
Past his prime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't fought in
He's not
ages.
interested in
Whereas
fighting
Jamie
anymore.
is peak.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
peak Jaime.
It's amazing.
And Jaime is irritated, of course, that Ned gets injured by the guards. He gets the spear shoved in his leg, doesn't he?
Yeah, because it,
Jaime wants to carry on.
as Jaime says, it wasn't clean.
Yeah.
And we then see also Jaime's then relationship with Tywin, which comes later on. Actually, that's season 2. Just realised.
Yeah. Oh no,
But-
he does talk with Tywin later, and he's saying, "Become the man you were supposed to be, not
Yeah,
this King's
because
Guard nonsense."
Tywin obviously wants. Well, if we go into the history of that, that's because Tywin was the hand of the king to the Mad King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Mad King realised that Tywin was ruling everything,
Mm.
and realised that he had no power. So the Mad King thought, okay, well, I'll take your son, your heir,
Yeah.
and he shall be my king's guard, and you will never have an heir.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And Tywin's reaction to that, he left.
Yeah.
He left King's Landing and went back to Castle Rock,
Yeah.
leaving Jaime there as a king's guard, and Tywin forever slightly angry
Yeah. Lost his heir.
at the Mad King.
Yeah.
So now the Mad King's dead, it is possible for Jaime to come back now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But
And-
Jaime says no because obviously he wants to stay.
Well,
with
this is it.
Cersei.
Jaime has got a strange, twisted version of honor. He's in
Yeah.
the King's Guard, and he does take it seriously, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, he refuses, which
Yeah.
is remarkable in itself. Anyone refuses Tywin Lannister anything, my God.
So it's all kicking off. We've got Ned, which has that wound and injury.
Horrible. And his lovely
He's
stick
surrounded
things
by
he's-
lots and lots of guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Robert, then he goes on a boar hunt,
ridiculous.
is overfed a lot of wine
Yeah.
by his
It's Lancel, isn't it?
by Lancel Lannister.
Andrew
yeah.
Lancel.
Which-
I've met him.
Have you?
Yeah. He was in Scylla.
Oh.
Oh, not Lancel Lannister.
Oh right, fair.
Do you remember he says, Lancel, a stupid name?
Yeah.
I always think of poor old Andrew Lancel. I'm like, oh no, leave him alone. He's a nice guy.
But yeah, and then so Rob's then on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Ned can hardly walk,
They're in a bad way.
and Rob passes. Well, Rob dies.
Yeah.
Robert Baratheon dies.
But he names Ned as his
To take over.
protector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Joffrey comes of age, which is a long way off in the future.
And this is when.
to be the regent.
So this is when we're coming to the big moments now. Ned has set up now with the City Watch.
Yeah.
Because he realizes Cersei isn't going to listen.
He's worked it all out, but he's offered her the chance to flee the city. This is before Robert, because he's going to tell Robert, but before
Well-
Robert dies, he offers her the chance to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knows what's going on, and he offers her mercy. Again, a stupid thing.
thing to do.
But very honourable thing.
Honourable. Yeah,
Yeah.
again, this is Ned Stark. This is who he
Ned's
is.
fatal
Yeah.
flaw.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cersei knows. I mean, Cersei knows everything that Ned is doing.
Oh yeah, she's a much better
Always
player
one
than
step
him.
ahead of him.
Such-
So much cleverer
Yeah.
than pretty much anyone.
And Ned sets it up with Littlefinger as well. They're
Yeah.
going to come in together with the Night's Watch, and he's got his
the Night's Watch.
the Night's Watch,
City Watch.
the City Watch.
Leave the wall. We don't have.
Yeah, I tell you, could you guys just pop down?
Yeah.
We'll see you in a couple of months.
And then we have that fantastic scene in the hall where
Wonderful.
Ned comes in with a piece of paper, gives it to Barristan Selmy.
Yeah, his honour can't be questioned.
Yeah, and Barristan Selmy reads it out, and then Cersei rips it up, and
Yeah.
Barristan Selmy even says, "That was
Those were the king's words.
those were the king's words."
He is a man of honor as well.
Barristan Selmy's a legend.
Yeah.
One of the greatest knights.
Yeah,
again, there's
another
ever been.
legend.
And then Ned realises, okay, well, I'm going to have to use force. Thinks he's got the City Watch behind
Yeah.
him. And then bang, changes. City Watch kills all his men.
Yeah.
And Littlefinger puts his knife to Ned's throat and says, I told you not to trust me.
Yeah, stupid. I hate him.
And there we
I
go.
hate him.
We have Ned in the Black Cells.
Yeah.
It's all kicking off. Rob is finding out. He's on the verge of going... Or has he? No. Yeah.
He
Rob,
finds out. He calls
Rob
the
has
banners.
called all his banners.
Yeah.
So the Stark army are moving.
Yeah.
Tywin's army are moving.
Yeah.
And it's all resting on one little moment, which is in the hands of Joffrey.
I mean,
And you know, you've got these beautiful scenes where Varys comes down to the Dark Cells and he's
Yeah.
trying to beg him,
yeah.
you know, just say that you've done
Yeah.
this. Say you are a traitor. They'll send you to the Night's Watch.
Yeah, bend the knees, swear fealty.
Think
and
of
then-
your family, and you know, it takes Ned ages to.
It does. Well, my
to
God, it takes him
realise.
days and days of being
Yeah.
locked in the dark.
And you even get Sansa.
She writes that letter
She writes
to...
the letter to
yeah.
Rob, which comes back to bite her on the bottom
Yeah.
later on.
on the backside.
Delicately done.
But
Excellent.
yeah, and then we're at that massive scene now.
Yeah. Well, so Ned has sworn fealty to Joffrey.
Yeah.
And he's given in at this point. He's absolutely beaten because his
Yeah.
honor is broken, and he swears fealty
Yeah.
to Joffrey, and he's like, fine, I'll go to the Night's Watch, be with Jon, live out my days with
Yeah.
some semblance of honor.
Yeah.
But it's not enough for Joffrey.
No, because you've got Sansa that's standing up there because she is one of the ladies of the court,
Yeah.
and Arya that has been trained. We haven't talked much about Arya's
No,
character,
We've not. It's a wonderful character.
but again, she kind of more comes into fruition in the next scene.
But she is different to her sister, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of know she's being taught to fight by
Sarah Florell,
Sarah,
the
yeah.
first Sword of Bravos, wonderful character.
Which is
God,
some
such a
lovely
shame.
scenes.
Such a shame he's
But
only in this.
When you're talking about the season, it's Ned.
Oh yeah, it's Ned's season, 100%.
So,
It's his
um,
only season, so it's his only chance.
Because Arya has escaped
Yeah,
and she's there, and this is all outside the Sept of Baelor
Baelor, yeah, that's what it's called, Baelor.
back in
Episode 9.
the day when it was still there,
Yeah,
and
the good old days.
they're all up there being watched by the public, all the people of King's Landing. Arya has managed to escape, and she's lived on the street for like a day
Yeah.
or two, trying to steal bread and this kind of thing.
Yeah, just survive.
And she sees her father up there, which is always... Oh, it's just a beautiful scene. And you think that Joffrey... And this is the most important part, because we really get to know our characters. You think that Joffrey isn't going to
Yeah,
kill him.
yeah, you think that he's going to be fine and he's going
Yeah.
to go to the wall, and in your head you're planning what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
I think you're like, oh, he's going to go up and see Jon. Okay, right. Is he going to regroup in the north? Is he going to? The possibilities are still there for Ned,
Yeah.
because obviously at this point, no show kills off its lead.
No!
Let's be really clear
No.
about that.
No show's killed
That-
off Sean Bean. I mean,
No,
it's-
I
And
mean,
then-
yeah, we should know. They
Yeah.
cast Sean Bean for God's sake.
Yeah, we should have had an inkling, really.
Yeah.
But then he turns it around and says, what's his name? Bring me his head. Who
Oh,
does
the
he tell?
executioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Not Janos Lent. He's the head of the City Watch.
It's what's his name that hasn't got a tongue.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It will come back to me. Carry on.
oh, tongueless Tim.
Tongueless Tim.
Tongueless tip.
Oi, tongueless.
What's his
Go get his head, mate.
Sir Ilan Payne.
Yeah.
Sir Ilan
Okay.
Payne.
Liam Payne.
Sir Ilan.
So,
Liam Payne,
that's
yeah.
it, Liam
An early
Payne.
role for Liam.
Yeah.
This is where he started.
That line,
Before
Sir
we get-
Ilan,
Yeah.
bring me his head, and that's it. Chaos. Everything is going crazy.
Yeah.
And you get to know all the players even more because you've got people like Cersei and Varys, which is they're even begging Joffrey not
Yeah.
to do this because they know how much this is going to cause.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the world is shaped by this
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like everyone is playing a game, and Joffrey
Yeah.
throws the board over.
Yeah.
And that-
he's a
like a
wild
little-
card.
That's what I love.
He is a little child.
Even though Cersei and Varys are at the moment big players, they're against Ned.
Yeah.
Well, Varys isn't really against
No,
Ned.
Varys is for the realm, isn't he? As he says.
But they, as soon as that moment is said, they are begging Joffrey. They are begging Joffrey, and then there's just that pure silence, and you just hear Ned breathing. No music or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just that little, and you just see the sword go,
yeah,
and
it's horrible.
bang. And Arya's seeing
She
it.
watches it, of course.
Yeah.
Well, she watches it with. She's being held back by
Yeah.
What's the name from the Night's Watch? I can't
Yeah,
remember
that's
the name
right.
of
The
that.
one who comes south
Yeah,
and is about to go back north.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's the first season.
Good.
I mean,
To kill
to
off the
end
main
the season
character.
like that.
Yeah. Well, this is episode 9, of course. This set up the episode 9 was always the one where stuff happened.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you were sort of predicting, but this was revolutionary.
Yeah, definitely.
And such a bold stroke because they obviously had so much confidence. Well, I mean, no, it's the story that they're telling. So,
Yeah.
but that they will follow it so precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much confidence in the rest of the story
Yeah.
that's going on.
Yeah.
And they set up this world, and this is how the world works. This is how everyone plays the game, and then it's completely changed in an instant.
It's amazing because you have all these other characters that you're meeting and stuff like that, and you think, okay, I'm going to follow them. I'm going to follow Jon Snow.
Yeah.
And stuff. And at this point, Jon Snow and what's the name, Mormont?
Jorah. No.
No, it's not.
Oh, what, the old bear?
Gior.
Yeah.
It's Gior Mormont, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's saying
who's-
we're going to go north of the wall. So you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the Lord
Okay.
Commander.
They're going to find out what's going on.
Yeah. Because Benjen's disappeared, of course.
Benjen's disappeared, so you're with them, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
all right then. But all of that, everything that's going on, Catelyn, with Littlefinger promised that Ned would be okay and
Yeah.
all this kind of thing. So she's gone back up north.
Yeah.
This war could possibly happen, but it could be sorted out by just exchanging. And bang, everything is about to go a bit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, it's just such an amazing season.
It's
yeah.
it's astonishing.
The writing as well.
Yeah.
We haven't even mentioned the conversations between Littlefinger and Varys.
That
they have.
But it's the conversations in this show which were so revolutionary, you know.
It's what makes you're always guessing
Yeah.
as to
Yeah.
what is going to happen next, because all these conversations are happening.
Mm.
What I loved about these early seasons as well is that you could never, in my opinion, guess what was going to happen next, because
No.
there's so many twists and turns, and
Yeah.
I
It
was
became
left
known for it.
exhausted by the end of it. 'cause
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
was such a journey.
It is an exhaustion,
Yeah.
because you're just like, wow, this isn't just going to be a normal series.
No, that's right.
And I think everyone knew this as soon as that episode finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, right, okay, so this is big.
Oh yeah.
A lot's going to go down.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment as well for these are all the political machinations that are going
Yeah.
on, which are huge and are the bulk of the story. But if I take us back across the sea to the story of Dany and Khal Drogo, so obviously Dany becomes pregnant. Viserys, of course, is killed off by Drogo.
My God, yeah.
He gets poured metal.
Molten gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he says, what's he say? A golden crown,
Crown for a king.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Now the sound when his head hits the floor.
Yeah.
But do you know why but the reason why he died, and the reason why he was killed at that point, wasn't because he threatened Dany or anything like that. It's because he drew
the
a
sword.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is banned. That's their.
Yeah.
Not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
No.
They're very barbaric in their ways. and
They're
they have
barbaric,
these-
but they also have their rules.
They have their
set
rules, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So that's going on, and of course, Khal Drogo gets injured, the tiniest injury in
Yeah.
that fight, which is so cool, where he pulls out his tongue. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh goodness me!
and he starts dying, and a
Yeah.
witch is brought in.
Yeah, Miriam Asdur, who was actually a teacher of mine at drama school, if you can
Oh,
believe it.
for
Played that
God's
character.
sake, give
Yeah,
it a
right.
rest.
I trained at the Oxford School of Drama.
Who cares?
Where did
But,
you train prior?
Oh, I'll tell you, mate.
Silence.
But yeah, she was also gifted those dragon eggs, which
Yeah.
you don't think of anything.
No,
because
they're
it's
just like stones.
from Jorah Mormont.
They're like
Yeah.
fossilized, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, it's from Illyria, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
a wedding gift.
yeah.
And then she...
Oh no, it wasn't from Jorah. Jorah
No, I
gave
think
her
it came
books.
through Jorah.
Yeah.
But it was that was the wedding gift, and then
Yeah.
Khal Drogo dies. But she is desperate to save him. Well, in fact, I say he dies. He doesn't die.
No.
She manages to save him by this ritual with the witch, and she sacrifices the child,
The,
the
unborn
life force of
child.
the child, for him, and he's left as this vegetable who
Yeah.
she then smothers, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh goodness me! But then
I
on his
mean,
funeral
how
pyre,
traumatizing
Yeah, on
is
his-
these
oh my God.
scenes.
yeah, I know, they really
Oh,
are, and
God.
especially as their relationship becomes something so nice
Yeah.
and so beautiful.
She falls in love with him.
She
completely.
does. She does.
When they start out, she's terrified of him.
Of course.
And then absolutely besotted with him in the end.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But on his funeral pyre, she ends up, walking
But
into it.
why does she take the eggs though? I've always wondered
instinct.
that. Why did she take the eggs
Must
on the
have been an
funeral
instinctual
pyre?
thing.
Yeah,
She is
she
meant to be the
knows,
mother of dragons.
because she is a Targaryen in the
Yeah.
way that
Yeah.
Viserys wasn't a true Targaryen.
There is a connection there with those eggs.
Yeah, there always has been, and they are hers.
This unburnt thing as well,
Yeah.
this legend of Targaryen. You see her in the bath.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, it's too hot."
Yeah.
And she's like, "It's fine."
Whereas
Yeah.
Viserys really can't take the heat
No.
at all,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
that makes sense because he's not a true Targaryen.
And then the day after, she burns in the fire with
Yeah.
the witch, with Khal Drogo.
Yeah,
And then in the morning, Sir Jorah Mormont just gets up, and everyone else has just fallen asleep.
yeah,
And there she is.
there she
standing
is
with
in all her glory.
3 dragons on her shoulder.
And
You've got that as well.
That's amazing.
She's
Well,
got-
that's the magic side of
she's
it.
got 3 dragons on her shoulder, but nothing else.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
right. That was something that young Ben Pryor was like, "Oh my god,
I was like,
what's that?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful girl."
So that and
It's
that's
sort of like an Arthur Kipps.
all
bit.
that's kicking. That's a.
Well, that's the magic
one
side of it,
season.
alongside the political side of it, which I love. It's the same thing as Tolkien. There's magic in the world, but it's never the focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right, yeah,
There's no magicians. There's nothing like that. There are these witches and there's this sort of thing lurking in the background,
It's
which is
based on
supernatural.
That's the
based on our folklore, isn't it? You
Yeah,
know, when
yeah.
we go back and think of these
There's all
people
sorts
who
of
would
things that
do
he
the-
draws.
Well,
Yeah.
all of this really is based on the whole story of Game of Thrones. Is based on the War of the Roses.
Yeah,
primarily.
Starks, the Yorks, the
Yeah.
Lannisters, the Lancasters.
It's all
Of
based
course.
on that.
But he draws from all over the place, like
Perhaps-
Tolkien does.
Perhaps Dany's story is always very much that little, like, niggle in the background. That little. She isn't going to do anything about this main story.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
But you just see her rise and rise and
It
rise.
is a completely separate story, except
Yeah.
for those tiny moments where obviously Robert tries to have her killed, and you get that link back to Westeros, but it's a
Yeah.
different world.
And you find out that Ser Jorah was at some point
Yeah.
at the start of the season a spy,
Yeah.
but has now again fallen in love with her.
Yeah, and so his loyalty shifted.
Wants to look after her, but all these characters in one season.
Yeah.
But it's Ned's death.
Yeah.
That
That's the fulcrum, isn't it?
Is the explosion.
The whole
Yeah.
thing turns on that.
And yeah.
That's
Wow.
what, I guess we have to kind of leave it
We
there.
do.
What a
Can we
season.
take one favourite moment from each of us? Is that possible? I think one of mine is Syrio Florel, because I always wonder. He's such a wonderful character. He's such a small character,
Yeah.
but his fight with the city guard and with the King's Guard, I can't remember who it is, but he's the one who kills him in the
One
end.
of them is Samarin Trant.
Oh yeah, Samarin
He
Trant is
fights.
the rest of them are just the city guard, and it's
Yeah.
Samarin who's leading them, and he kills or he knocks out and defeats the city watch easily, but he's killed by Samarin. We assume we never see him again.
Yeah.
He's just such a lovely character.
Yeah.
Brought to life, and I
What do
always
we
wonder
say to
what would
the
have
god of
happened if
death?
he just picked up a sword instead of
Yeah.
having his wooden sword, you know?
Oh.
Because what a fighter! What a difference he could have made.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things.
Prior.
Meeting the Dothraki for me.
Really?
First,
Really?
Yeah, first time seeing the Dothraki.
Wow.
Just was terrifying stuff, and I thought
So
they
different.
were amazing, and
Yeah.
I still continue to think that throughout. So yeah, that was probably the first time.
Nice.
I really enjoyed
I've got to say it's probably one of the conversations between Varys and Littlefinger,
Right.
because I loved that.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the script.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
just thought it was so good. The Jamie and Ned fight,
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's up
so
there.
good.
Yeah.
but
I mean, we
it's
kind
the
of all have to
conversation.
mutually agree that is one of.
Yeah.
There are
up
moments in this which you're right. The way they take their time with the script is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's one of the criticisms of the later seasons, but in these early seasons, it's perfection.
It's fantastic. And there we have it.
There we have it.
Season 1 of Game of Thrones. We couldn't obviously go into everything.
No,
But the more we go on, the more we will bring back different things.
well, you
and
have to. We
different
were doing it
moments.
here, weren't we? We were
Yeah.
bringing things from the future in.
Yeah.
But that is it. So,
That's it.
ladies and gentlemen, I have been AJ Jenks, and I've been with
Ben Pryor.
and
Christopher Weeks.
thank you very much. This has been episode 10. This is massive. Thank you for everyone that's been listening.
Absolutely.
It's been so good, and thank you for it to be growing and getting comments back and such lovely things.
Do let us know your comments, your thoughts, your questions, as ever, and we look forward to Game of Thrones Season 2, Return of the King Part 2. There's so much in the
Yeah.
pipeline, isn't there?
Return of the King Part 2 is out next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Exciting stuff.
we
Lots
will
going on in the 8
obviously
days
be moving
world.
on to more and more things as soon
Yeah.
as because
But Game of Thrones is great because we can sort of intersperse it. with,
Exactly, yeah.
It's
and Lord of the Rings is coming to an end, so
Yeah.
who knows what's coming after
Yeah.
that.
yeah. Suggestions are all welcome.
But I've got a few.
Have you?
Not from you.
Ah.
But this has been 8 Days a Geek. Thank you very much.
Da 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 da. I need your love back. Yes, you know.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. Peter
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
John Lennon,
Paul
Paul McCartney,
Ringo
they're
Starr.